think I got the big one. These, these motherfuckers, I don't care what nobody say. Y'all can call me delusional. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put it out there. And I just start off with these two guys are professionals. Been in the business since the 80s. One's, you know, at least on stage, he wasn't famous since the mid 80s. Another one, been a rapper since like 87 or famous, at least famous before his TV show. So yeah, they can do an impromptu, improv. Why I say it's improv is because they wouldn't have had that much time. Oh, you know what? Also, they're in California. It's a time difference. So yeah, they definitely could write up something right quick. You know, so a lot of people, most of us didn't even know the Oscars was even on last night. But supposedly, I say supposedly, it looked real enough. But we all know Will Smith's a decent actor. So is Chris Rock. You know, both of them are actors. Will's played in action movies. He's been coached on how to throw a punch or a slap. Who knows how many times? Since the '90s. Chris Rock. Either way, both of them are actors and know how to take whatever. It wouldn't take much practice. Matter of fact, with Will Smith, as much as many action movies he's made, he probably could stunt choreograph that whole thing in like 30 minutes. Plus, like I said, Chris Rock is an actor. Been in plenty of movies. So, yeah, he probably just, the reason, he's like, well, damn, who you think we already know I'm important for some reason. I still don't know that one yet. You see all these motherfuckers walking by, and like I said, they're not just walking by. Some of them say they follow me, like I said, in the car, the things they do. Like I said, I've been meaning to buy some front and back cameras. But really, the reason I want to, because it's much easier with my phone. That's why I do it, with my phone. But I would have to get into, taking out the SD cards and, or even if, yeah, whatever, and all that shit, and upload the videos and whatever, put it on a laptop and go through all that shit. But it would be worth it to see some of these things that these people do when I'm driving, and the people that walk out in front of me, literally just walk on, not a street like this, quiet street. They walk across big streets, the major fucking streets. And even right now, like on a street like this, you hear that car, they will walk out in front. So I would have to like, but they see I don't slow down, and really I just blow the horn. Now they started running, but you don't do that shit either. You don't cross, just basically jaywalking. And technically that is something that can get. That's what we're talking about. They do shit that can get you get attention from the cops, and then they act like the cops shouldn't have just. Basically, their defense is just, oh come on, you're being too harsh. I know it's a law, but I was just jaywalking. Instead of just like the rest of us. I done, a street like this. Yeah, I'll just walk across, but because it's barely any cars, you can literally stand out there. We've done it before, stand in the middle of the street, you know. But people just go around. But on the big street, no, you don't walk. I go to the fucking stoplight and walk in the crosswalk. I still do it to this day. If I'm walking, I'm going to the crosswalks. No big deal. I always go to. I even start using the buttons. Because usually the reason I don't use the buttons because when I was growing up, they never worked. And I'm surprised. They still surprise me to this day when I push it and it actually works. Because where I'm from, them shits didn't work. That button, it was just there. It was just a round little button. That shit never worked. It might have worked. I don't know. Maybe it didn't make no noise or something. Maybe it did work. I don't know. But sometimes you be standing there for I don't know how many minutes. It's like this shit didn't work. But anyway, so back to the slap. I'm gonna tell you why it was because of me. Alright, so last night as usual, I was scrolling to whatever, And I see, I be looking at Sky News, Australia. They a lot of times they tell more truth than American. I've been watching them for years now. Than American news channels, you know, especially NBC, CNBC, MSNBC, CNN. So you can see my comment, but okay, so I'm gonna let you read it, or maybe I should play some of the commentary.
Of course, Ukraine came out and said.
Oh yeah, okay. Now I remember what this is about. They over in the Ukraine, they're mad over here. I think because the trans men they not letting them leave. They letting women and children leave. But the trans men, they gotta fight, just like any man. You 6 foot, cause there's some 6 foot trans. I seen one on what's it called? That live show. It been in my hometown and this town plenty of times. Oh, First 48. I know people who's actually on it. I know more than one who's on First 48. I know at least 3 or 4 who family members was supposed to be in it. I mean, one even took me to the spot on the street like this where they shot his cousin, right? And you can see in the asphalt, black street asphalt, where they shot him while he was on the ground, and you can see they shot him with an AK because it went through his body and it dug holes in the ground. And actually we cleaned the blood out the vehicle for them. We cleaned the vehicle for it because they kept it. And he's dead and he got shot up in it, but they kept it. Anyway, that was a long time ago. Took the seats out and I had to do all that. And you can see, like I said, he showed me, and I was like, damn, he made them niggas mad. That's some shit. You in the car, and AK, like I've been told y'all, and I learned this really from 2020, plus, on the news, and plus, when I was a teenager, well, really 14, the old days, in the 80s, motherfuckers was, we've been found out from personal experience, it didn't happen, but we know people who got shot in the house. AKs they won't go through this, but brick, like they might, cinder blocks they go through, but bricks like this, but a house like that, they going through it. Everybody in, not just the windows, AK going through all that shit. And one reason, 2020 was doing a special on it, and they, the gang violence, air quotes, and all this shit. This was, I guess about '88, and I used to watch 2020 a lot anyway. And they took it out to the range, and yeah, they had the cinder blocks just, on the tables, and then they had the shooter, the range instructor or whatever, the armorer, just shooting through the cinder blocks, showing the shit. So you definitely going through car doors, but we've been known that, not just from rappers and all that shit. So anyway, when he showed me, we went out there and he showed me the spot, and we standing and looking at the bullets, and I'm like, damn, they were mad at this nigga. I hadn't seen no shit like that since the 80s, 90s. And like, I don't know what he did, but that's what I'm saying. That's why nowadays that's what I'm telling you on purpose, that don't blame the victim shit. Our generation, our first response, what the fuck did he do? Oh, this is so sad. Oh, he released the balloon. All that shit, they doing nowadays and all that. Oh, he was a good father. What the fuck did this nigga do to them? Cause like I said, they shot him out the vehicle. He was in the vehicle. I ain't laughing at him, but I ain't even know him. But, this is my homeboy, whatever. But, so, he interviewed, then I guess trying to get out, now you're on the ground, and they get out and shoot you on the ground. And bullets, like I said, while you laying there, make sure he did. That's what I'm like, you don't want to piss nobody. That's what I'm saying. We don't piss nobody off like that. These motherfuckers, they trying to make it, that's what the whole Will Smith thing was supposedly about. If you watch it, I ain't see it till this morning. Nobody even knew the Oscars was even on. But, he thought, keep my white name out your mouth, and blah, 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 blah. And everybody knows, because she told everybody that she fucked that dude August, in their house, and we were talking about calling him Og. Yeah, Og, we was trying to take him in and help him, because he was singing. I actually liked this little song years ago. This is way before when he first came out. It was alright for an R&B song. New age, cause it's all about sex now. But it was alright though. And then you find out that Will Swift and them took him in or whatever. I guess he was having some kind of maybe drug problems, and she ended up fucking Jada, and she called it the fucking entanglement. That's the one we know about, the one they admit to. But anyway, so back to this. You know, I always get immediate jokes, and they get mad about that shit. I don't know why they keep trying to get mad. You know, they some hoes. And like I said, you don't want to end up like I keep telling you. Ain't nobody all this slapping and fighting. Ain't nobody fighting you over no bitch, nigga. I promise. I've been telling y'all that. Don't, you know, Chris Rock and Will Smith. First of all, they're from the East Coast, so I guess they still think, well, you know, where I'm from, ain't nobody fighting over no hoe. Period. Especially, you know, if your wife. Most niggas ain't gonna talk about your wife, but first of all, your wife admitted the entanglement, as she called it, to the whole world. Nigga, you should have divorced that hoe. You know, you ain't slapped the dude Augusta, but you will slap Chris. But like I said, the whole thing is fake anyway. But they still think they can train us Americans to be hoes like them. And it's like, no, it's not working. We ain't, you know, respect women. She's not a woman. She's a whore. Like they say in the Bible. She's a whore. You know, you should have divorced her. You know, if she was just a willing single whore, then, you know, nobody would fuck with her like that. Hey, she's single. Do what she want to do. But when you know, Will, everybody think he a sucker. And I think the real reason, I'm going to go into the real reason if I don't forget, what really they got on him, you know, the cabal and Jada and why they made him do that shit. What they really got on Will Smith, most black folks who from the hood know. Alright, so back to this. So I guess they're mad because, you know, remember they was trying to make Zelensky the hero. And, you know, the Hollywood people, Zelensky, he's one of us. He needs to come to the Oscars and da-da-da-da and all that shit. Now they might be mad at him because he don't, they're not letting the trans men leave. Like the women and children, they're trying to leave too. They're like, no, you're a healthy man. You got to stay and fight. Oh, back to the first 48. I was watching it, and it was a cop, white cop, and you know, it was down in Miami, and they was asking questions. You know, there's a murder investigation, so they don't care about the prostitutes. They actually just question them. Did you see anything? And one of them, you know, you could tell it's a dude in a skirt. Da 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 da. But from the TV end, you can't tell. And the funny part, you know, because it's not scripted. They just film it, you know, like the old cop show, but it's first 48. You know, the murder. So the the cop looks up to the dude in the dress and says, you know, who's out there selling himself. But that ain't the funny part. The cop said, "I'm 6'4", the white boy. I have to look up to you. You scare me." He was joking, and the dude laughed too in his dress. This dude got on a mini skirt. Can you imagine just you having to be driving? You see a big 6'5", got to be 6'5", because the cop said he's 6'4". You can see it in the camera. You know, well, from the camera you can't see it. You know, you don't know how tall they are. And the cop just mentions casually after interviewing them. You know, because they're trying to find, you know, the murderer. And, you know, they go, you know, like you see on TV, you know, they go interview the streetwalkers. And he said, dude, I told you. He said, I'm 6'4". I have to look up to you. And this dude got on a mini skirt. And, you know, he probably getting in the car with some little dude, you know, big old black dude. But who knows? I hate the gay jokes, but they're probably way bigger than. But anyway, he up there fucking his second man off for $20. But anyway, that was the first 48 joke. So anyway, I made this joke after watching it. You know, it reminds me of the '90s movie Con Air. I'm gonna start another one so it could be at the beginning.